Okay, going into game 2, having had a chat with a team. So here we have a much stronger comp this time. We've got Nar, Hecarim, Cassadin, Alistair Vane. The Cassadin was priority picked. This comp is really strong at diving. Very, very powerful. They've got some problem sieging, but that doesn't really matter in the pre-season because these long sieges at turrets don't really happen that much. It's very much about explosive team fights. If we look at red team, they have a lot of ways to bully Vayne, but Nar and Castin should be able to provide damage even if that happens. Vayne will be low on pill, but hopefully she can mechanically outplay the people trying to kill her. Both comps are very strong here though, but I much prefer Leeds team comps in this game to game 1. Hecarim jungle should be very good, and hopefully we see a lot more vision this game. If we look at the matchups, we've got Nar vs Malphite. Nar is stronger in that matchup at all points. Malphite's still safe in it because it's Malphite, the most boring top laner ever, but Nar's stronger. Vi vs Hecarim both doing very similar jobs, diving on the carries. But Hecarim has a lot more mobility around the map because he's a lot faster. So whilst his ganks are slightly weaker, because he needs a better positioning than Vi to make a gank work, he's much stronger in the fact he can move around the map faster, and I think he has a faster clear. Mid lane, Orianna obviously beats Cassadin early, but as long as he doesn't get too far behind, as long as he's not 20 CS behind, anything under that, then he should be able to catch up and do very well. It's interesting that we've got Ignite on Cassadin. It is very powerful with Hecarim ganks, but Teleport would be a lot safer pick here. Although Teleport on mids has fallen out of favour. In bot lane we have Alistair Vayne vs Jinx Fresh. Both the AD carries are meant to be scaling hard, and both the tank supports are more tanky, CC sort of based champions. What will be interesting is just to see if they want to lane swap or not. Because the lane swap would favour blue team in my opinion. How significantly it would favour blue team I don't know. What we'll probably see rather than a lane swap is just Hecarim pressuring bot lane early as Jinx pushes it in. And I think I'll prefer that, because it allows them to keep control over Dragon early game. Oh, excuse me. Yawning already, even at 8 o'clock. So let's look at starting items. Hecarim has gotten Talisman, interesting, for the mana regen. You can see it's damaging monster steals some health, as opposed to Machete where you get life steal and a bit of effective damage first monsters. Now he's got Doran's Blade. He could have actually probably got away with a cool here for that little greedy extra gold. Doran's Blade will be good for hurting Malphite, but Malphite's going to be able to tank a lot of that because it's Malphite. We see the Corrupting Potion casting like we did last game, and Doran's Ring on Orianna, which is fairly standard. Right, let's see how they split to cover the lanes. Nice, so blue managed to get vision on red team's jungle, that's great. They haven't got vision on the exact starting place, but this ward, we'll see what's kind of going on. And I think they can see from the fact that jungler hasn't timed up that Vi starting bot. And they stopped the vision going that deep. The vision isn't as deep on for red team, so that's really good. George checking tribal for absolutely no reason there. That's an interesting thing. He just gave vision away there. That wasn't much point to that. And we see Vayne and Alistair doing golems. Get the small one first to reduce the DPS, and then the big one. Hecarim starting blue, working his way down. And now I need to talk to my mum for a second. Hi mum. Okay, so what we saw there was all very interesting, but I'll leave the analysis up to whoever's watching, because I was only half focused because I was having a conversation, unfortunately. I could have paused. Should have paused. But oh well, it's too late now. It's not like I can rewind or anything. Right, what we saw is some good early game play from blue team, but now they don't have vision again, and they're still walking to places where they don't have vision, so they're going to lose the dragon fight. And with that, red team is going to start catching up. But we did see some strong play from blue. A lot better calls, a lot stronger comp. We can see that Casting's winning mid lane. It's just a shame he died mid to Vi. No, to Malphite Rome rather. Simple mistake going aggro when the top lane is not visible. They've sent Orianna against Gnar. I'm not sure why. I think it's because Orianna struggles against Casting, but I don't really agree with that. And now Vi's fighting Hecarim, which is good for blue team because their team is actually more. Their rotations are better because their support's mid, so they can win that fight. Gnar 1v1's Orianna, very well done. And they've left Vayne by herself in the 1v2, but that's fine. Vayne will be able to get levels anyway, even if she's denied some gold. She just needs to play it safe. And that roam from Alistair allowed them to win the fight. Very well played. Vayne is playing a dangerous game here because the turret's about to die. But she dodges the hook, so she's fine. If Fred had walked up to her and flayed her, then she might have had a bit more problem. But Alistair was roaming back down, so they probably would have been fine. The game will now be a game of rotations and ganks to see. With the side bot lane turret cleared, bot lane's a lot more vulnerable and they'll have to play a lot safer. Now I'll probably use teleport to go back to top lane here, or risk losing the turret. We just see complete dominance by Casting over Orianna. She's a lot weaker compared to some of the champions in the current patch. Although still a safe pick. What we hope to see is the Gnar scaling hard and carrying the team fights for Leeds, which I do think will happen. The only person who's behind is Hecarim, which does not matter too much. It's nice if Hecarim gets ahead because he will insta-kill Jinx. But if he's not, him and Casting should still be able to dive on her and promptly end her life. I really like how this rotation. Vayne's hanging around because they know that red team is looking for a fight, even though she could be farming bot. They also know that bot's pushing in. I don't particularly like Vayne's positioning. I wish she was a bit more behind the team. That's a lot better now that she's under turret. I think she may have just been struggling to get to the turret. And now we see Hecarim on the flank like he should be. And blue team's playing a little scared for my liking here. They could be a bit more aggressive here. The Oriana ult and the Jinx ult are used, but no kills and very little damage. The Hecarim ult comes in. Vi gets on Vayne, kills Vayne but dies. Gnar and Hecarim have jumped on Jinx and are going ham. They don't quite manage to kill her, but they manage to do a lot of damage. Right, a thing that I disagree with there is I think Gnar should have stayed back to help pilfer Vayne whilst Kassadin jumped on an AD carry, because Kassadin will do more damage. And I think that's why the team fight went even, with a slight favour to red based on health rather than blue team winning, despite blue team being ahead. Gold is even apart from the Kassadins who had, so he should be abusing that lead. They should give up this turret here. They're too low to defend it. But the minion wave is quite far back. With Gnar's teleport, Gnar could have actually... Oh no, there we go. They've tanked. Red team have tanked it. The side lanes are pushing towards blue side for top, and push towards blue side for bot as well. So George will want to go down and farm that wave, although they need to get vision of this jungle again. Nice trinket ward. Need to clear out these pinks. Yeah, he knows that they're there. He just needs to get rid of them. Good safe ward to prevent himself dying. They don't know about that ward, but it's not making too much of an impact at the moment. It's just protecting top jungle a bit. And Gnar goes to get that farm top. Going back into the game after a pause. The dragon is now up. And blue team have vision of their own jungles, but not of dragon itself. Red team have vision of dragon, and have in fact started it straight away, trying to catch blue team out. Blue team's going to have to go in here. They can see dragon with their ward though, so the Alistar is forcing, and Hecarim goes in. They should focus Vi to try and get the smite down. A good Malphite ult prevents a lot of damage from Vayne, and blue team's going to have to come in with the casting flank. Gnar jumps on Vi, on Jinx, killing her, and Vayne mops up the tanks. Very well fought team fight. The casting flank really made the difference there. His positioning was very good, and very brave of the tanks like Alistar and Hecarim to go in, despite the fact that they'd probably die from it. And that means that blue team gets dragon, and it has now a secure lead of 3k gold. They will be able to farm up bot lane and get even further ahead. And Castin's just shoving in mid. Alistar coming to get another wave as well. Oh, and they're actually greeding for the turret. This is a bit of a dangerous play, but I think they've timed the death timers very well. And as Castin is quite a safe champion with his ult, he can easily get out. And now puts blue team on a 4k gold lead, which is quite strong. This is now blue team's game to throw, which is good. We want blue team to win. Gnar's discovered that pink ward, and we'll be able to clear it. And now red team is looking to make some plays towards top turret and Baron. Unfortunately, Gnar wasn't able to get the Rift Scuttler because blue team was back, so he's having to play very safe. Now he's not trying to ward that because he doesn't have vision of it. That's good. That's good play. They're just going to secure casting blue buff. Vayne's going to shove out mid because bot side is pushing up anyway. Red team and having been forced to react to blue team and copy their layout. The red team's vision is almost excessive around Baron right now. This ward and this ward and this ward, so much vision. But are they going to be making a dragon play right now, a Baron play right now? I don't think they will, because they're behind. So whilst they have the vision of Baron, really they only need these two, maybe that one, and these two wards aren't really necessary. That ward especially, because that entrance is covered by that pink anyway. So red team have wasted a lot of their trinkets here. And blue team with their scanners can check where these wards are and know when they're being safe and know when they're being aggro. Fortunately, some very clever wards like that one are not going to get picked up by the most average scanners. That's why Oracle Lens in general was quite a lot better. We see blue team sending Gnar top. Which means that red team is going to try and shove mid. But this shouldn't really work. With Castins there and Alice's there, it's the wave clear. It's more than enough. And they sent Vayne to split push as well. They went for the 1-3-1. Unfortunately, Orianna is quite strong versus Vayne. Especially when she has blue buff. So Vayne's going to have to back off here. The enemy team tries to initiate on Gnar, but it's Gnar, so nothing happens. Voodoo Juju knocks up Malphite, they get some very nice damage on him. And Hecarim ults the backline. I don't like this without Vayne and with Jinx. They're going to have a hard time winning this fight. Oh, but a very nice Gnar ult completely destroys Jinx. And I'm clapping. I'm actually clapping. That was very well thought. I thought that'd be a lot closer a fight, but that Gnar ult completely shut down the backline. And without Orianna to ult, there's nothing they could really do. Orianna might get the solo kill on Vayne here because Vayne did not dodge the ult, but Alistair helps her out. With this, as blue team, they could probably peel off and get Baron. That's probably the best play here. The turret is on full health, so it would take quite a while to kill. And there's already Jinx and Fresh back alive. They might get the turret, but Baron is worth more gold than just one outer turret. And with Baron down, they'll be able to play the lanes a lot more aggressively and do that split push that we saw them try and do earlier with the 1-3-1. Or just walk straight up mid. Either will work. And they're playing this dive comp really well, forcing the enemy team to overextend and then diving onto them with the Hecarim ult and the Gnar ult. And really turning the game round. I really like to play this game. We can just see A team adapting to the new meta. Trying to find what picks work for them and what picks don't. The Trinity Force Hecarim is actually really powerful. And Gnar's building quite tanky now, so he's going to become annoying for the enemy team. And the new Vayne build does a ton of damage. Very nice Aegis pick up from Alistair. The enemy team is quite magic heavy with Orianna, Malphite. I do wonder if blue team are investing a bit too much in magic resist. Seeing as there is a Vi and Jinx on the enemy team as well. But I think they're just trying to survive that initial wombo combo of the Orianna ult and Malphite ult. And they're relying on the fact that Kassadin, Hecarim or Gnar can zone out Jinx. I think with Gnar picking up a Dead Man's Plate, they've dedicated the role of Jinx zoner to Gnar. Which is fine, it could have been any of those three. Hecarim will help as well with his damage. But I think he's just going for kind of AoE initiate. I like the itemization. They're playing the comp well. And now with Baron buff, as we said, we can see the 1-3-1. This time they sent Kassadin bot. And the jungler's keeping vision. The vision is a bit low for doing a 1-3-1 split. Red team have this jungle fairly well warded, so it's going to be hard to get picks from it. but it is forcing red team to respond in a 1-3-1, which is good for blue team because Kassadin can bully Oriana. They're taking 4 turret hits and still forcing Oriana to Sonya's. Going very ham and just destroying her. The casting pick seems really strong right now in the current meta. We could also see picks like Lux mid if you want to do the safer mid and you're not quite used to melees. Or Malzahar. Malzahar is also strong. But all of these single target, high damage with a bit of AoE seems to be what the mid meta right now. A very assassin based, but not the actual assassins. The actual assassins are too dangerous, too vulnerable to ganks right now as the junglers are so strong. We see a good dive there on Jinx and Vi, and with this blue team is just pushing their lead further and further. Now 12k gold ahead. They can just brute force this inhibitor, not even without Baron buff, and actually make plays like Flash Alistair ults onto a single lone Oriana. And now red team might rotate top to take the top inhibitor. Gaston staying despite wanting to be, just because they think he might be able to help out. And then blue team will back off here. No need to overextend and try and force the last 2 turrets. They can go back and they could play a slow game where they wait for Baron and Dragon to respawn, or they could do what I think they're going to do and just push out the lanes and shove bot. I would probably surrender at this point as a red team. They're very far behind. And here we see a very standard split again. Top laner. Actually no, jungler, but Hecarim, so he'll get there quickly. So not quite standard, but still good. Hecarim going attack aggressively on Oriana, and now coming to join his team. He did join his team for a very low vision play, so this is going to allow a good initiate for red team. But luckily blue team is so far ahead, it doesn't matter if they get a good initiate, they can just brute force. Unfortunately, Vayne gets the turret aggro there. If it had been Dean on Nuel or Alistair, then they would have been able to dive further. Again, Hecarim shouldn't have walked through the area with no vision. And in a closer game, that would have been disastrous. But luckily in this game, it makes no difference. Vayne just trying to look better than she actually is by nicking all the kills. And a much better game 2 than game 1 by Leeds. Much stronger comp and played it perfectly. GG. Well played.